The stadium lights glared above me, buzzing faintly, as if they too were nervous about what was about to unfold. The crowd hummed with anticipation, their cheers rising and falling like ocean waves. I stood on the football pitch, sweat already gathering on my forehead, facing my opponent. Titan X9, the most advanced football playing robot ever built. Titan wasn't just a machine, it was a masterpiece of engineering. Its metallic frame gleamed under the floodlights, sensors glowing a faint blue, built for speed, power, and accuracy. It had already beaten dozens of professional players around the world. Many called it unbeatable, but today I was anti-Jasanado Challengura, was determined to prove that human spirit could still outshine cold steel. The referee blew the whistle, and the match began. Titan sprinted forward with an almost unnatural burst of speed, its metal legs pumping like pistons. I dashed to intercept, my heart thumping like a drum. The ball rolled between us, and Titan stretched out a mechanical foot. At the very last moment, I slid, hooking the ball away with my boot. The crowd erupted first blood to me. But Titan learned quickly. It recalibrated its movements, adjusted its algorithms, and within seconds, it was reading my strategies like an open book. Every feint, every trick I tried it, mirrored, blocked, or outpaced. It was like playing against a mirror that had no fatigue, no fear, no hesitation. The score climbed, Titan 2, me 0. Its shots were unstoppable missiles that curved perfectly into the goal. I felt my confidence waver, but then I remembered something important. Robots rely on patterns, on logic. Humans, on the other hand, thrive in chaos. If I wanted to win, I had to stop playing predictable football and start playing unpredictable football. I slowed my pace, letting Titan think it had control. I let it dribble past me a few times, making it overconfident. Then, when the moment came, I struck with instinct rather than logic. Instead of shooting straight, I backheeled the ball, bouncing it off the post before slipping it past the robot's sensors. Goal! The stadium roared like thunder. Titan analyzed the play, but it couldn't compute my randomness. It expected sharp passes, but I gave it messy flicks. It expected me to sprint, but I stopped suddenly, making it stumble for a split second. That was all I needed. With each unpredictable move, I clawed my way back into the match. By the final minutes, the score was tied, 3-3. My lungs burned, my legs felt heavy, but adrenaline kept me moving. Titan, of course, showed no signs of slowing down. Its movements were just as sharp as at the start. The last whistle was near. Titan charged, controlling the ball with terrifying precision. It approached my goal like a predator closing in on prey. My heart pounded. If I didn't act now, the match was over. I lunged, sliding in from the side, not toward the ball, but toward Titan's balance point. For the first time, the robot wobbled. The ball rolled free. I seized it, sprinting with every ounce of strength left in my body. Titan was behind me, sensors recalculating, engines roaring. The crowd was on their feet, shouting, screaming, living every second with me. I reached the box, swung my leg, and struck the ball with a wild, twisting kick that no robot could predict. The ball soared high, spinning awkwardly, and for a breathless moment, the world went silent. Then it dipped, smashed into the net, and the stadium exploded in sound. I had done it. Final score 4-3. Human versus Machiden, the human one. Titan stood motionless, its glowing eyes dimming as it processed the loss. The engineers rushed onto the field, baffled, murmuring about unexpected variables and human unpredictability. But I didn't need to hear their explanations. I already knew the truth. Machines could be fast, strong, and precise, but they couldn't feel the fire of desperation, the thrill of risk, or the magic of instinct. The crowd lifted me onto their shoulders, chanting my name. I raised my arms, exhausted but triumphant. That day wasn't just about football. It was about proving something bigger. No matter how advanced robots become, there will always be something uniquely powerful about the human heart. These celebrations didn't last long. While the crowd still cheered my victory, the engineers surrounding Titan X9 were already plotting They huddled together, typing frantically on their tablets, their eyes darting toward me as though I had committed an impossible crime. One of them, a tall man in a white lab coat, stepped forward with a microphone. His voice echoed through the stadium. "Ladies and gentlemen, the match was remarkable, but we believe Titan X9 was not performing at its full capacity. The machine requires a second Trilon Ultimate test, a rematch." The crowd gasped, then roared with excitement. A rematch? Against the most advanced football-playing robot, now upgraded and recalibrated. My body ached, but my spirit burned. I wasn't about to back down. I stepped forward, grabbed the microphone, and said only 4 words. "Bring the robot on." The engineers' hands flew over their tablets, uploading new algorithms into Titan's system. Its glowing blue eyes flashed red for a moment before returning to icy blue. This wasn't the same Titan I had just faced. It was smarter, faster, and deadlier. The second match began. Immediately, I felt the difference. Titan no longer relied on rigid patterns. Its movements were looser, more fluid, almost human-like. It had learned from me. Every feint I tried, it countered. Every unpredictable move I invented, it anticipated. The machine wasn't just adapting, it was evolving. Within minutes, Titan blasted 2 unstoppable goals past me. The score? Titan 2, me 0. My chest tightened. The crowd's cheers were mixed, some still chanting my name, others murmuring that perhaps the first win was only luck. I dug deep. I reminded myself why I was here, not just to win a game, but to prove something about human grit. Titan had algorithms, but I had heart. With that fire, I countered. I sprinted harder, dodged quicker, and forced myself to play even more unpredictably. At one point, Titan sprinted toward me, its sensors glowing. I pretended to trip, letting it advance. At the last second, I rolled on the ground and kicked the ball from behind, sending it spiraling into the goal. The crowd went wild. 2-1. I was back in the game, but Titan responded immediately. It charged, passed the ball to itself off the post, and smashed in another goal. 3-1. The engineers clapped smugly. I gritted my teeth. My lungs burned, but I knew something they didn't. Titan might simulate human movements, but it couldn't feel fatigue. And fatigue, paradoxically, was my advantage because tiredness forced me to make desperate, instinct-driven decisions that no machine could fully predict. I slowed down intentionally, making Titan believe I was losing energy. When it approached for the kill, I suddenly burst forward with a last-second sprint. Stealing the ball, I zigzagged madly, my legs screaming, and slammed the ball into the net. 3-2-2. The match raged on, each goal a battle of mind and body. Titan's precision versus my chaos. Its logic against my emotion. We traded goals like warriors trading blows. By the final minutes, the score was tied again, 4-4. The stadium trembled with noise. People were standing on their seats, waving flags, chanting, praying. Overtime began. Titan had the ball, marching forward like an unstoppable force. Its movements were smoother than ever, a terrifying blend of man and machine. It was clear, though, engineers had created something almost flawless. I remembered what had given me victory the first time. Embracing the unpredictable. So instead of playing clean football, I went wild. I kicked the ball off my chest, off my knees, even off the referee once. The crowd laughed and cheered, and Titan's sensors struggled to make sense of my bizarre plays. It hesitated just long enough for me to strike. I launched a bicycle kick, my body twisting through the air, the stadium lights blinding me for a split second. My foot connected perfectly, and the ball shot toured the goal like a comet. Titan leapt it, metal frame fully extended, but the ball clipped the underside of the crossbar and ricocheted in. Goal. 5-4. The stadium exploded into chaos. People screamed, flags waved, fireworks crackled in the distance. My teammates, though? Technically, I had none ran onto the field to lift me high into the air. Titan stood frozen, its glowing eyes flickering in confusion. It had processed billions of possible outcomes, yet it had never expected that. The referee blew the final whistle. I had beaten the robot, again this time, when it was stronger, faster, smarter. The engineers looked devastated, whispering to each other, typing furiously. But no algorithm could explain it. No machine could calculate what had just happened. They finally understood humans weren't just players of the game, we were creators of chaos, dreamers of the impossible. As I walked off the field, sweat-soaked and exhausted, Titan slowly turned its head toward me. For the first time, its glowing eyes dimmed, almost as if it were bowing in respect. That night, the headlines weren't just about a football match. They spoke of something greater, how human instinct, creativity, and sheer willpower had triumphed over perfect programming. I didn't just win a game. I proved that no matter how advanced machines become, the heart of a human player beats louder than the ticking gears of any robot. And deep down, I knew this was just the beginning. Because one day, there would be another robot, stronger and smarter still. But I would be waiting, ready to play again, ready to show the world that humanity would never surrender the beautiful game.